What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Big Mike, man, back again with another therapy talk video. I'm hanging out with you in these YouTube streets, man. I appreciate you for stopping by, man. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and check your boy out. As you know, I am a mental health professional in the state of Washington. Currently working in a private practice setting with families and individuals, mild to moderate. Those of you who are just now tuning in, I've worked in and developed inpatient treatment facilities, methadone clinics. I'm a nationally accredited addictions counselor and a mental health therapist. My master's degree is in forensic psychology, and my doctorate, I'm currently working on my doctorate degree. But I've been a therapist for about 13 years, and I've ran across a lot of curriculum to help people. But one in particular I think is pretty good. I put it up today to kind of discuss it. Reproducible forms for the anxiety and worry work topics has a bunch of worksheets in it. The first one is my goals and expectations for overcoming fear and anxiety. I think it's a pretty cool worksheet. Kind of goes into your goals and expectations of overcoming fear and anxiety. So it's sort of set in the CBT model, cognitive behavior therapy. But it kind of addresses first the behavioral change, like what behaviors would you like to increase? What behaviors would you like to reduce or eliminate? How would you act differently without fear and anxiety? And it has a bunch of different boxes where you can fill in that information. And that's for the behavioral change. And then the cognitive change, what thoughts and beliefs would you like to decrease? What thoughts and beliefs would you like to reduce or eliminate? How would you think differently without fear or anxiety? So that's a common theme, is how would you think differently without fear and anxiety? And what that expects to do is set the expectation or the storyline of perceived behavior or desired outcome when experiencing, I guess I would say, cognitive challenges with your thinking, with overthinking, and your thought processes. It talks about what thoughts and beliefs would you like to increase. So that's kind of like the goal. How would you like to think better? What sensations or stories would you like to tell yourself? It says, and what thoughts and beliefs would you like to reduce or eliminate? So when you start thinking, negative self-talk, and you don't really have a directive positive self-talk, that's what it's trying to do. It's trying to assist you in creating a positive visual roadmap for your thought processes. Emotional change, what feelings or emotions would you like to increase, right? So if you're always sad, that's something that you would want to reduce or eliminate, right? You'd want to increase happiness, feelings of positive emotions. And then how would you feel differently without fear and anxiety? And then once again, that's painting a picture of kind of what you would look like or how you would feel without the anxiety. And then the next one, worksheet 2.1, is discovering the core fear behind your anxiety. So the anxiety state, briefly describe what makes you feel anxious, right? What situations or events trigger your anxiety? Maybe it's the thought of taking a test. Maybe it's the thought of, going to the grocery store and you have, social anxiety disorder, fear where, you think somebody's going to judge you, or you're going to be judged or talked about or something like that. And it says, what are you most likely to feel anxious about? Once again, kind of reiterating that. What might you do to avoid or to feel too anxious? So at that point, it's looking for a plan. Like, what could you do if you did start to feel that, right? Could you start a positive dialogue in your head like, okay, it's going to be all right? Would you start with a deep breath? Okay, I think this is going to be okay. It's not the end of the world. I'm not dying. And when you think about it like that, you kind of release yourself from that state of anxiety. This page actually talks about discovering the core fear behind your anxiety. So we talked about the anxiety state, briefly describe what makes you feel anxious, but now we're talking about the core fear, right? Try to identify the core fear behind your anxiety. What is the worst that could happen in the anxious situation, right? Is there some catastrophic outcome you fear? What is the threat or danger posed to you or your loved ones? What that likes to do is kind of clarify the reality to the narrative that you created, right? So if you think there's a catastrophic fear behind, oh my God, I'm going to die if I go to the grocery store, I'll be in a can or aisle and the whole aisle will crash on me, the shelf will crash on me, and I could die and I could never see my loved ones again. Some people have thoughts like that, right? And they'll stop going to the store because of those thoughts, right? So, this is kind of checking it. Like, what is the threat or danger posed to you and your loved ones? Like, how often has this happened to you, right? Well, if it's never happened, then why are you thinking that, right? So we start to challenge those thoughts and beliefs. So that's one thing I would think to start with. The first page kind of identifies, if I was doing this with a client, I guess I would do it in the same way, my goals and expectations of overcoming fear and anxiety. But I would get to discovering the core and fear behind your anxiety first, so that way you understand the backdrop of what's happening and then create goals and expectations to move forward. Just a quick video on something that you can do to take control of your anxiety and worry.